morning, happy Monday, welcome to a new vlog. We're starting all in the car. Say hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
Say hello Alfie. Alfie's in his new seat. Do you like your new seat? What does it have on it? Cars? Do you like it? We are off to drop Owen off in school. Then I'm dropping James off to the GP, and he's going to do a few post office runs and stuff like that. And Alfie and I are coming back home. We have quite a lot to do at home because not much happened during the weekend, thankfully, thanks to the stomach bug and the tax return to do. But yeah, let's get ready for a new week. Want to say bye bye, Alfie?
Bye.
Hi, we're back home, and I have a few things to explain to you about this week because there is a high chance I am going to be a nervous wreck. No, it's okay. I heard a big noise, but it's just Alfie taking toys out. On Friday, well, first my period started, so it's the worst week for this to happen, you know. But on Friday, we are also going to the court because in September, James was diagnosed with epilepsy. At the time, he was receiving DLA because he has, well, I'm going to tell you exactly. At the moment, he has 14 different medical conditions, and he needs a lot of help during his daily life. I do provide a lot of help for this, and we had to adapt a lot of things in our home to make his life easier, and we had to adapt a few things we do in terms of like, oh sorry, I have to fix the car, just a second, because Alfie brought me, he can't put the door back on his car. Don't worry Alfie, I'm gonna do it. There you go. Anyway, all these things cost money. Also, he's not allowed to drive, but so he needs to spend more money to get to places because I can't always bring him everywhere, and even if I bring him, that means more petrol and stuff like that. He is so far getting, like, in terms of transport and all, he has a half price ticket because of that. But the half price ticket is still more expensive than the annual pass he already had, so it doesn't actually make a difference. This country has a big issue. There are too many people, in my opinion, who are relying solely on benefits when they shouldn't. I would agree with that part, but there are even more people who do need this help and are not getting it, or their life is being made very, very difficult in the hope that they won't insist and they won't get it. The last time, these are kind of benefits you need to apply for. So DLA is granted for so many years depending on your conditions. Last time James was granted it, we had to appeal as well. He was granted it until March of this year. Yet when we moved over, DLA is being done with. They are stopping it and they're replacing it with PIP. When he phoned them to let them know he had epilepsy, to add on to the list of things he already had, so technically he's worse than, even if, I mean, he's not worse, it's just that he got a name for some of the symptoms he had, but because they tell you need to let us know of any changes, he thought he would do the right thing, contact them and let them know. And they told him, well, then in that case you need to be reassessed and all that, and they took everything away because he's being moved on to PIP. So it took them a few months where we had to wait for the decision. During that time they were still paying the money, and then we got a letter in December saying to us, from January you're not getting any money anymore because we have decided that you do not have any issues and you don't have access to anything anymore, when you're technically worse, and the court had decided you would get it until March. This is beyond me, but this is how the system works and how they let it work. So once they tell you you can't get anything, the first step is to ask for a reconsideration, which we did. And with PIP now there is a point system. Originally James scored 0 points with 14 medical conditions. That's quite an achievement, really. And then we asked for reconsideration. They scored him 4 points, which was an improvement, but still meaning that he had nothing, because you need at least 8 to get access to anything. We then started to get help with the Citizens Advice Bureau. We appealed the decision, and that's what we are going to do. We've gathered a lot of evidence. We have all this whole medical file, which is like this. We have statements from the different specialists he's seeing. We have a statement from the GP, all that. Going through the points and the way they award the points. If you stick to the basic description they are being given to grant the points, and they are being objective, and they are not trying to make sure that the least amount of people possible get this, then James should score. Hold on, I have the sheet from the Citizen Advice Bureau there with the statement they have made. They can't go with James to the court, so I am going, but I have written a statement to send to them prior to that to say that they have seen James and all that. And James should score 21 points for the care component, where we're aiming for 8. So I mean, that's a big margin, you know. With 8 points you get the basic rate, and with 12 I think you get the higher rate. So going by that, you should get the higher rate, but we would be happy with the minimum one. We would be happy with that. That's the one we had before, and we're, you know, we're happy to settle for this. And then he should get 10 points for the mobility part, and that would allow him to have the lowest rate of mobility. We are not set on getting the mobility. We would accept not to get it, but being told you score 4 points when you should score 21 for the care, given how big of an impact it has on his daily life, is not okay at all. And just for that, we need to fight this. When we were looking at you know, the appeal process and all that, we knew it from the DLA, and it's very stressful, very long, very humiliating process. The court thing the last time, I had to go with James as well the last time, and it was awful. It was absolutely awful. So my phone is going, it's okay, it's a notification, this is not important. Absolutely awful. It was very, you basically have to talk about how everything affects you in graphic detail for everything, and that involves toileting and everything like that in front of a panel. And I do understand why they are doing it, but last time the judge who was there was, I'm trying to find a word, polite word. All the ones that come in my head are insults, which I don't usually swear, but these are all the ones that come in my head, so we'll just fit in whichever insult you want there. He was, I know he's doing his job, but I think sometimes whenever, especially when you're dealing with people with disabilities who affect their daily life like this, you can use words that are a bit kinder. You don't have to be so degrading with the person, and this wasn't, to me, awful to watch, because I was basically told you're just there for support, you are not allowed to speak. So I had to watch James struggle through it. When James is when he's stressed or whenever he's tired, he has speech issues, and he was stuttering through the whole thing, trying really hard to keep it together. And I was just sitting there and I couldn't do anything when I knew what he wanted to say and I could have helped, and I just couldn't do it. It's an awful situation to be in. It's even worse for James because he's the one being put on the spot, but it's not something we're looking forward to. But we have to go through it to be able to hopefully get a resolution for this. If we don't, we can't change the system. It's a messed up system. It's really not okay. Whenever we're looking at it, there is a guy I follow on YouTube who does gardening. He is paralyzed from one leg, paralyzed. He's in a wheelchair some of the time, and yet he has to go to court to appeal this for the mobility part because they scored him 0 points. How is that possible when you are paralyzed from a leg to get no points in mobility? This is what is happening in this country, and this is a big rant, but it's important to say because it has been something that has stressed us out. We started this process in September. it's going to be May by the time, it will be literally 9 months of stress over this to hopefully get a resolution, or otherwise not, and then having to change how we spend our money and all that, and we change stuff somehow. Yeah, this is not money to go on holidays, this is not money to buy a load of fancy stuff, this is just money to make somebody who needs help's life a little bit easier. So yeah, so fingers crossed it goes well. We are, the nerds we are kind of happy that it's Friday because it's May the 4th, and hopefully the 4th will be with us that day, Star Wars Day. Maybe it's a sign, I don't know. The weekend after that, this weekend coming, the boys are going for a sleepover at James's parents, so we'll have a break, and then Monday is a bank holiday, so we'll do a family day or something nice. Then we'll have the long wait of waiting for the answer, but at least it's Eurovision week, so that will keep me focused on something else. But yeah, this is what is happening this week. It's a big chunk of thing. Meh. But we're gonna get it done. We have everything sent off, like all the documents have been sent off and all that, so fingers crossed it goes smoothly on Friday. The judge is not as much of a insert whatever insult you want this time, and we can put that in the past and go forward and breathe. Yes. Anyway, I'll go, and I'm in the middle of planting stuff. Just to change the subject a bit, I have a lot of seeds. I need to plant herbs in pots. I have this is my sweet pea that's growing well. This is my indoor one. It's the one from my March project I was doing, and there I have planted to germinate some. We have leeks, sunflowers, courgettes and pumpkins, and I'm going to show you the garden now. So my jasmine is still going strong there, and these are the tulips I got last week. So here are the tomatoes. Here we have 2 cucumber plants. They're not looking very well, they got battered by the wind, but I was hoping they would pick up again, but this one especially is not looking good. There's 1 courgette. I had 3 more, but the wind killed them. And then I have the thyme from last year. I separated it in 2 because it was too bushy, and I'm hoping it will just pick up. I might cut a few bits. These are my sweet pea, and I've kind of done a makeshift thing there with those so I had to climb up. And the raspberries, we have twice the amount of canes we had last year this year, and there's loads of like starts of flowers forming. And then this is the apple tree that's starting. Oh, we're gonna get flowers, I think. Is that flower buds or is that leaves? I don't know. Could we be getting flowers? This would be amazing. We had no flowers last year yet. I think it might be to be continued, but this is the pear tree. And then look at all the blossoms. This is a cherry tree, obviously. And this is filled with cat poo, and I need to dig it out. And I can't wait for this to flower. Can you see all the flower buds? This one is starting to show signs, and then this one has loads too, like that. This one has been destroyed, the leaves, but hopefully it will pick up again. Yesterday I watched all the first part and a few episodes, I think, of the second part of Money Heist on Netflix. I had heard a lot about it in France. It's called Casa del Papel or something like this, the Spanish title they have, and everybody is going crazy about it, and I thought I'll give it a go and see. It's really, really good. I couldn't stop watching. I watched it all during my tax return thing. I work better with something in the background. If it's silent, I can't focus, and this is something that is a bit of a mystery to some people, but to me, having something in the background to focus on actually helps me focus on what I'm doing, and I can follow both at the same time. So yes, I am going to start laundry load as well. I need to order the shopping. So yeah, laundry, Then I'll watch another episode while I do my shopping online for tomorrow, and then I might do a bit of cooking, I'll see. Good morning and happy Tuesday. Please don't mind the shouting in the background if you hear some. The boys this morning woke up in a very shouty mood. I have no idea why, and they can't seem to play without murdering each other constantly. It happens. But just after the full moon, I'm just going to blame it on that because I can't think of anything else. So let's do that. I'm feeling grumpy today. Hormones. I always do when I'm on my period, like at the start of it. But yeah, that's life. Today I don't have any appointments, which is a good thing because I need a break from appointments. We have swimming in the afternoon. Tuesday are always busy. I don't really like Tuesday. It's always, I don't know, it's always like a running around thing and all that. This morning I need to collect the shopping in between the two school runs. I decided to go for the click and collect. So then I always have like 15 minutes to kill between the school runs, because if I go straight from Owen School to Alfie's, we're there too early and we're just standing there waiting. But it's very hard to find something to do in between that is not too long. But because Tesco's is so close, I'm going to attempt the click and collect. So I'm going to go to the school with the car, go straight to collect my shopping, then bring Alfie, and then come back, and at least that's my shopping done. I can put it away in peace while Alfie's in school. So Alfie thinks he's a tiger because he's wearing a shirt with a tiger, which is actually a lion. Alfie.
We know that you have to be a tiger.
What are you playing, Pokemon?
Yeah, well, I kind of gave Alfie Flip-Flop.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to be a tiger with Flip-Flop. So,
well, it could be a wild penguin, a very wild penguin. Alfie, do you want to say hello to the camera? Oh, what do you have? A rope?
I need rope.
A rope, okay.
I need rope.
And what are you going to do with it? So I'm just back from the school and it's been an emotional time. I've just had a big cry of relief now after a very stressful situation. Tried to film a clip before that, which was a mess, and I thought, no, just compose yourself and talk about this calmly. Most mornings when I bring Alfie to school, he's really happy to go in. He does like school. Some mornings he is happy to go in and we go in, and then I don't know what happens in his head at some point between the moment he came in and the moment he goes into the classroom. He suddenly just wants to go home, when he previously was so excited to go in. I have no idea what happens at which point exactly. It happens quite regularly, but usually it's a matter of me sitting down there for 5-10 minutes, calming him down, and then eventually the ski worker will take over. Even if he's still a bit upset, I go home confident that he will be okay, because every time he is after, and it takes him a wee while to come around, but she knows how to handle this. What happened this morning was in another category. Whenever we pulled to in front of the school, he didn't want to come out of the car. Now that has happened a few times, very rarely, and he didn't want to come out. Eventually came out, got into the school, very happy to go in, and at the point where he needed to take his coat off and his bag off, he did not want to, but he never wants to because it's like a safety thing for him. It's very rare the days where he will actually take both off, and they are fine with it. They usually let him go in with them, and then within 5 minutes the bag is off, and then the coat, apart from the odd times, the coat eventually came off too. This morning he grabbed onto me basically and he would not let go, but when usually he's crying and he's upset, he just holds on to me, but it's not, I can easily move him away from me, I can easily sit him to the side and all that. This time it was literally like grabbing onto my hair, my clothes, everything he could grab on to make sure I would not let go of him. And he screamed, I do mean screamed, for 20 minutes non-stop, in tears, screaming. And the people in his school have never seen him having a meltdown of that strength before. We have. It's not happening all the time, but it happens regularly, and we don't know why. We don't know what happens in his head when in these moments. It just happens, and usually there are two scenarios possible. Either he will be so upset he will end up being sick, and usually being sick, that kind of stops everything. It's kind of, I think it just literally lets whatever it is submerging him at that point, it just lets it out, and then that's out and that's it. And then he's tired, he will like have a little hug, and then he will be okay and playing again like if nothing has happened. And the other thing is that he will scream until he's so exhausted he can't scream anymore. This happens less often, but this is the hardest one to deal with because it takes a lot longer for him to be exhausted. And it's not good for him. It's not, even if we're holding him, we don't know what's wrong, so it's so hard to know how to help him. If he was able to speak and say, well, there's this or that, but he doesn't speak, so it's so difficult. And this morning I was in a situation where I was completely torn, is the word. I was torn. There was one part of me, which is my instinct mommy bear self, who is thinking, I'll just take him home and I'll just calm him down at home because he'll be in more familiar surroundings and he'll be more relaxed and it will be easier to deal with there. But there's the part of me who knows that because of ASD he will be put in situations like this throughout his entire life, and he needs, if he wants to be able to cope in the future, he needs to build some coping mechanisms. Now he has built loads. It's fascinating to watch how a situation that was so hard for him, he has found a way himself. He knew what to do. We didn't know how to deal with it, and eventually he did work something out. But that took him being confronted to that situation several times to be able to come up with that mechanism. So the mechanism I don't want to make in his head is that if he gets that upset, he will come home, because there are days where he doesn't want to go to school the same way there are days you don't want to go to work, or it's just the way it is. But I don't want him to learn that if he cries to that extent he will come home. So first they told me, once I had calmed him down enough for him to go with his key worker, now I did have to literally, she had to take him off me, but we both agreed on that. I went into the hallway where he couldn't see me, so to him I had just left. He didn't know I was there, but none of us felt comfortable with me completely leaving because he was still extremely upset then. And so then he just latched onto her and just went, like, just hugged her really tight and looked like if he was going to sleep. So they said to me, eventually another of the girl manager came out and said to me, why don't you go home and we leave it for about half an hour, and if he's still like that, not wanting to play or anything in half an hour, then you can come and get him. But otherwise hopefully he will go to play. And I was thinking he probably will go and play, but it's so hard to know what to do. So I felt happy with that plan, and they've just texted me to say he was now playing, so I'm so relieved. And from the moment I got their text, like, the floodgates opened. It doesn't help that I'm very hormonal right now, but yeah, that's what happened. Anyway, got my shopping, put everything away. I got some daffodils that are a bit battered because they were packed in my click and collect thing. My tulips are almost ready for the bin, and I thought this was available on the website, and I do like daffodils, and it won't be long before there are no more of them in the shops, so I might as well just go for daffodils again. Good morning, it's now Wednesday, and I ended up going to bed just after 9 last night. I was shattered. Tuesday always makes me so tired because there's a lot of running around. It's the kind of the busiest weekday. And yeah, I was wrecked, so I went to bed just after 9, and Alfie woke up this morning at 4 o'clock. Great. So I'm glad I went to bed early. I'm gonna get ready for school, and I need to do some work today. I really need to, because yesterday I was meant to and it didn't happen, and today I'm definitely going to do some. And I need to cook some of the HelloFresh recipes. Oh, I'm tired. And yeah, let's get this day started. Back from the school runs, I'm not crying. Alfie did start to cry again, but not like yesterday, more like he does more often. It was fine going in, and then he started to cry once I was going to leave. But it's the kind of cry where I know that he's doing it there because he doesn't want me to go, but if I don't go quickly it gets worse then. So that's why I thought I'll just go quickly, drop him there, say no, mommy has to go, mommy's coming back, and just go. It's tough love, I hate it, but I know it's in his best interest because he will calm down quicker. Oh, I thought I just got a text and I thought, oh please don't be that, but it's Owen's school. But it's not, like it's like a general thing. I got really scared there thinking, oh, they're texting me already saying he's not settling. Anyway, I'm gonna get stuck in and work, and I'll catch up with you later on because I didn't get any work done yesterday, and I need to catch up, and I need also to tidy up my living room. It won't take too long. Like that gigantic box from the car seat that he plays with all the time is always sitting out and it's driving me nuts. But I need to brush the floors because they are really bad, and I need to check on my garden. There was a massive shower this morning, so I doubt anything will need watered, but I'm just going to check everything is growing and all that. Have some breakfast, get to work, and then get the boys back after. But we don't have anything this afternoon, thankfully, because I am exhausted. Yesterday killed me, so I need to go and get some stuff done. Almost time to go and get James at the train station, but before we left I wanted to make dinner because I had bought ingredients to make this last week and I hadn't had a chance to make it. It is called I just realized I've not done something right. I was meant to put feta in and I put parmesan, but sure, it will work. It's called pork and feta or zotto. Try and focus on it. It's one of the recipes from HelloFresh, the app. And now I didn't get the ingredients, I just bought them myself. And this is what it looks like. Now I did over like some of the meatballs are made with sausage meat. They are a bit burnt, well, overdone, let's say. But yeah, I'll just keep that warm. And when like the smell of it while it was cooking, so yeah, already have some too for dinner. So we're gonna go and get James, and then we'll have dinner when we come home. Good morning and happy Friday. Sorry, excuse the noise in the background. Alfie is driving around on his truck. What is that here? I've made an effort today because we're going to the court thing for the appeal. It's the day I've been dreading for weeks. It's finally there. In a way I'm happy it's there because then it's over and done with. I just need it out of the way. I'm a mess inside. And to put some lipstick on. Anyway, I'm not leaving anything to chance. So first of all, if you're a nerd like us, it's May the 4th. It's Star Wars Day, and we're taking it as a sign that the 4th is with us today and we're gonna win this. We won't find out for a while. I think it says within 2 weeks they send you a letter with the result. Last time I think it took about a week to get the letter, so fingers crossed we don't have to wait too long. I'm just hoping it doesn't fall. My birthday is on the 20th and I'm just hoping we don't get like a negative response just before it, so it spoils everything. But I just need this done so we know where we stand and we can just move on from this because it's just stressful. So it's Star Wars Day. I have decided to put things on my side. I'm doing a journaling project where I'm journaling every month and there are different prompts to follow, and yesterday it was a prompt to find your like an amulet to, hold on, Alfie just came with this. I think I know what he wants. I'll just fill that and then I'll get back to you. So the focus is to of the month for the journaling is to kind of find yourself and be brave enough to be yourself fully, even if others don't like it really, and finding who you are. I have a massive issue with knowing who I am as a mom, and I've just been into mommy mode. Hold on, the fridge is beeping, so he probably didn't close it. You can see the reason why is because every time I get interrupted by mom stuff like this. So I think it happens to everyone, but I just want to be myself as a person again, but I don't know who that person is because I feel like I've went through kind of a storm in the last few years and I've kind of lost myself in it. So that's what I'm doing. So the purpose was to find something like a stone, pendant, anything you wanted that was your amulet, that was something you would wear with you at all times, that would remind you of this project for those times where you are kind of wanting to give up. And I picked this ring. It's a jade ring that I bought in China quite a few years ago. I don't know, I can't remember when it was. I went to 2003 maybe, 2004. A long time ago anyway, like close to 15 years ago. I had bought this ring, I've kept it since. I love it, and yeah, it's supposed to bring luck, and I'm gonna wear it today, and I'm glad I have it. Then I'm wearing this, which is kind of tarnished. I have a few Thomas Sabo charms that all have a different meaning. The first one there James gave me on our, I can't remember if it was an anniversary, maybe a wedding anniversary actually. Yeah, I think it was our first wedding anniversary. And this one I got, it says my little boy on it, and I got when Owen was born. I need to get one for Alfie because I don't, but I'm gonna wear these. When I was looking for the ring yesterday, I found them, they were completely tarnished, so I've used, it looked online how to polish silver. Now it's not perfect, the chain especially and this bit are still quite dark, but I made a mixture of hot water, salt and aluminium pieces, and you stir it and you put it in for 5 minutes. Now I did it twice because the first time it didn't remove as much as I wanted, and I got to this point, so it still needs a bit, but I think if I do it another few more times it will be good. Then I'm also gonna wear my lucky shoes with a lucky cat on. Yeah, I'm just not leaving it to anything to chance. I know these things are silly, I don't really believe this will make a difference, but it makes me feel this is my armor to go to my battle. So I'm going with my jade ring, my things, my charms, and my lucky shoes. There we go. It's just silly, but it will hopefully help. I am really scared, mainly because the last time was an extremely traumatic experience, and this is the only thing I have to go by. We've only done that once before and it was very, very traumatic, but last time we did win the appeal, so fingers crossed we do again. James is really nervous too. Once he comes back, we're going to bring Alfie to James's parents while we go there, and I guess we'll just update you afterwards when it's done. And I hope I'll be able to breathe after. I feel like I've been like, do you know when you go underwater and you hold your breath because you kind of don't want to die and don't want to be submerged by the water internally? That's what I feel I've been doing the whole last week. I'm also convinced that Alfie has been so unsettled because he's been picking up on my stress, and I just want things to go back to normal. So yes, let's do this. Hello, we are back. We've actually been back for quite a while. It's now 2:45. Came back and it actually went as good as it could go, I think. James is feeling the same about it. The team we got this time was a lot more nice. It's mainly the judge who was there. The last time the judge we had was awful, absolutely awful. He told me I wasn't allowed to speak. James had to do all the speaking. I wasn't really allowed to add much. And this time he started, first he just had a smile on his face. And this is little things like this when you're working in that kind of situation where it's people with disabilities appealing a decision that's been made about them, and they're going to have to talk in detail, in very graphic detail sometimes, about how their condition affects them. It's not something that's easy for anyone. So sometimes having somebody who, I know it's not their job to express sympathy or anything like that, but having a human being instead of a person who makes you feel like you're just guilty of doing something wrong, because that's how he felt the last time. He felt guilty of trying to cheat or something. It's just the way they were talking to us. They were talking down to us, and it just wasn't nice. This time they were actually really nice. They explained the whole process. They voiced the fact that they understand it's not easy to talk about those things, so to try and give as many details as we could. And they said to me, although we want to hear from James mainly, if you want to add anything you can, and at the end we'll have some questions for you as well, just in case James would have forgotten anything and all that. And it just made the whole thing start, you know, I'm not going to say the whole thing was easy, it is difficult, but at least we had people in front of us who seemed just human. That's the best way I can put it. The secretary was there, told us that she would have their report this afternoon with a decision, and that she would post to us the whole report on Wednesday. So I don't know if she's posting it first or second class, but we should hopefully have it by the end of next week, maybe early the week after. So like a week, roughly about a week to wait to find out the result. They have also decided that the 4 points that James was awarded already, they are not going to go over these areas again. They are going to leave the points as they are for that. So we know already we have at least 4 points, and we need 8 to get what we are hoping for. Anything else would be a bonus, but we don't want to get our hopes up. I don't want, because the system has been quite unfair so far, I don't want to think about what we can get and make plans or anything like that until we know for sure. But it's not, you know, it is doable really. So yes, we will see, but for now I'm just going to do some journaling now. James has the whole day off, so he's currently outside with Alfie. Alfie's on his bike, or when he's back from school, just watching a video. So I'm going to take a bit of time for myself, doing some journaling and things like that, and relax. But since it's been done, I feel like all that tension I've accumulated this week, it's like the whole pressure is coming down again. It took a while to like a few hours of breathing, and now I feel exhausted mentally and physically, but all that tension that was in my body all week is gone, and that is brilliant. I'm so glad it went that way, even if it doesn't work. At least it was not traumatic the way the last time was, and that's already something. So yes, let's do some journaling now. Hi Owen. Do you need help, Alfie?
That is insane. What is that? That's like, how is that even possible? I have to escape, guys, quickly. I'm getting out there. Bobby, get me down there.
So James had a prescription to collect before the weekend, because just figured out it's a bank holiday, so he can't collect it on Monday. And instead of waiting in the car, we figured we would go to the playground and to the library. That's where we've just been, so I'm not put. I can't think.
What we got?
Yes, do you want to show what you got?
The first rose was children, and the rose was to the children. Was this children ever?
Yeah, second one. And Alfie, what did you get, Alfie?
I got a book.
Did you get a book about, what is it about? About
On the move.
On the Move. And then there's a book called Beep Beep and a book with more vehicles. Do you like your books, Alfie?
Nah.
Every time we ask him, do you like this, he says, no, no matter what it is. And it's very warm, that's why I'm so red. It's actually 19 degrees right now, which is really warm for here. It's meant to be warm all weekend, but it's kind of muggy right now. So hopefully tomorrow we get plenty of sun. We're gonna go home now and probably have a quiet time after the running around and the stress and everything else. Yeah, I'll see you later on. Good morning. It's a blurry morning, apparently. Hello, there. We have monkeys in the back. Do you want to say hello, Alfie? No, Alfie's a bit grumpy. Do you want to say hello, Owen?
Hello.
We are off to bring the monkeys to their granny and granddad's, and then we're going to go and get stuff to do a barbecue at some point in the weekend. We don't know exactly when, but the weather is meant to get nice. Well, it was meant to be nice all day. So far it's not very promising, but we'll just get the supplies so we have them, so whenever we can we'll do it. So we've watched the movie. We want to see Infinity Wars. I can't remember if I said it. What's your verdict?
I've just tried to make it so that every single person who went to see it will go to see the next movie to see how they sort it out.
I had seen, before we went in, I had seen loads of reactions, like gifs online and memes and stuff of people sitting in their car shocked after the movie. Now, we went for a meal, so I wasn't sitting in my car shocked, but I have googled quite a few things after coming out of the movie to try and figure it out. And yeah.
Well, basically...
Don't spoil anything.
I'm not, I'm just going to say the whole...
That's a spoiler. Okay. Before this there was a spoiler, so I've removed it.
That wasn't... Well.
No, it is.
Right.
It is. Anything is a spoiler right now. Anyway, so yeah, we'll just not talk about it too much, because if I heard that, I wouldn't want to know that.
Okay.
I would be annoyed at you right now if I had, and yeah, so
okay, it's just as well that Julie couldn't rewind time.
It's good.
There's the mistake.
I call me, what is that guy?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. I don't like Doctor Strange, he annoys me. He's too far in the nerd zone for me. I am in the nerd zone, but he is like...
In the phantom nerd zone.
You're not even that far, I think, and that says a lot. So yeah, I don't like Doctor Strange. But for now, I just call me Doctor Strange. I can go back in time and fix this. So we're gonna go and get some petrol and go home. And the sun is finally out after it being quite grey all day when it was supposed to be an amazing day all day. But hopefully the next couple of days are great. Hello, it is Sunday. Well, technically it's actually Monday because it's 10 past midnight. I'm currently watching the opening ceremony of the Eurovision on YouTube. I missed the beginning, so I'm watching it delayed, but it's almost finished. I'm gonna finish to do that. I didn't vlog today. The boys were not back before mid-afternoon, and I had a lot of work to do. I have some orders to finish, and I have a lot of new stickers to release on Tuesday night, so I have to do a lot of work. Now I've done so much and I'm really glad, but I kind of sacrificed today to do that, so then tomorrow we can go out, can have like a family day. I will have to finish a bit of work, but it's kind of cutting work, so I can get it started and, you know, do other stuff while it's cutting and then loading the next sheet and all that. But yeah, it was very nice weather today. It was really nice on the mood. And I'm really excited because tomorrow is Eurovision week. This week coming, there's quite a lot of good stuff. We also have the first appointment with the educational psychologist for Alfie, so it's kind of getting the whole process started. And the week after we will have an appointment with the ASD clinic that's gonna follow him, so it's kind of all getting finally into place to get the help we need. And we should hopefully find out either end of this coming week or early next week the outcome for our appeal, which fingers crossed goes through. And then it's Eurovision week, and also on Friday I'm going to see a hypnotist show with Therese, and yeah, it's a very exciting week. It's a busy week, but there are a lot of nice things, and I feel like a lot of the very stressful stuff are kind of behind us now, so I can finally breathe a little bit. Right, I'm gonna watch the end of the opening ceremony of the Eurovision, and I will see you in the next vlog in a week or so. Bye!